The First and Deputy First Ministers are in New York tonight. They have a series of engagements with potential investors. In just over an hour's time, Peter Robinson and Martin McGuinness are expected to have their first meeting since the DUP withdrew its support for the Peace Centre at the Maze site. Our political correspondent Tracy McGee is in New York. Tracy.
Yes, Paul, as you say, Peter Robinson and Martin McGuinness expected to meet within the hour. This trip to New York was organised months ago, but of course it has added significance because, as you say, it's the first time that the two politicians will have met one another since Peter Robinson pulled his support for the Peace Centre at the Maze. And as a result, ironically, perhaps the most important meeting these two men will have will be the meeting they have tonight with one another. Now, Peter Robinson spoke to me today, and I began by asking him, since he decided to dramatically pull his support for the Maze, does that mean that he should never have backed it in the first place?
It was the Ulster Unionist Party who made that determination during their period in office. It was something that I inherited. My party had made it very clear that we didn't feel that having the retained buildings at the Maze listed was a good idea. We opposed it. In fact, we were the only ones to do so. So, you know, this isn't a U-turn. This is something we inherited. I was prepared to run with the proposal, providing I continued to have a veto on the nature of the proposal. I outlined in my letter the kind of proposal that would be acceptable, one that was neutral and non-partisan in terms of it wouldn't be telling the story of Northern Ireland or telling the story of the Maze. However, the general public don't believe that Sinn Féin would act responsibly, and I think Castlederg killed it off. If in Castlederg there's a glorification of terrorism, then many people will say, well, that's what they would do on the Maze site. So it's up to Sinn Féin to convince people. So it's not a U-turn. What it is setting a condition. And the condition is that there has to be public support for it. And I can't gain that support because it's Sinn Féin that they don't trust on the issue of what they would do with the centre.
It was such a bombshell decision. Was a letter from America the right way to do it? Should you not have been in Northern Ireland for it?
Well, I was in Northern Ireland when we started writing the letter. It went through probably about a dozen iterations, but it was Castlederg that changed it, and that's why the timing.
It led to media speculation that your days as DUP leader are numbered, are they?
Well, I can't see the link between the two. I've made it very clear that I'm going on. That's a wish of the party. Indeed, the kind of commentary that there's been from people who said that I would never be DUP leader in the first place. So they're now telling me that my days as DUP leader are coming to an end. So with their kind of accuracy, I don't think people should pay any attention to it. I have a job to do. I've made it clear that my time of exit is based on what can be achieved and when I feel it's appropriate for someone to take over. That's the view of the party. Senior members of the party have contacted to make sure that I don't fall foul of the kind of media hype. The media has never led me, and I will continue to do the job that I've been elected and appointed by the party to do.
So you're staying and there's no issue of party unity or backing from within the party?
I think we've probably got the most stable family party that exists anywhere in Europe. It's a party that stands by its manifesto. It's a party that stands by its principles. It's a party that stands by its leadership. So, you know, there is no issue within the party, and the people who talk about the Democratic Unionist Party just don't understand the Democratic Unionist Party. You know, the party is completely united. There's no issue at all.
Your partners in government, Sinn Féin, were very annoyed about the decision over the Maze. Do you think that has damaged your working relationship with Martin McGuinness?
Well, the Democratic Unionists have been very angry about Castlederg and a number of the other issues in which Sinn Féin have been involved in. So, you know, they can get angry as much as they want. We get angry at some of the things that they do. But the system of government that we have places us together in government with three other parties. Obviously, we have to be mature about these issues. We don't choose who we're in government with, and neither do they.
You're meeting with Martin McGuinness later this evening. It'll be your first contact since the Mayor's decision. Do you think the sparks will fly?
No. You think this is the first problem that we've faced over the last 5 or 6 years? It's not. We deal with these things, and we'll say what's on our mind. I will have things to say about Castlederg, and maybe he will have things to say to me. But that's the nature of the role and relationship. But at the end of the day, we recognise that the process is important. It has to move forward. It's important for the people of Northern Ireland that we maintain the progress and move forward, and we'll move forward on other issues.
Tracy is still with us in New York. Tracy, what do you expect the Crunch meeting to be like tonight?
Well, it's likely that it's going to be tense. The Sinn Féin were absolutely furious when the DUP pulled their support for the Maze project. And as you heard in that interview with Peter Robinson, the DUP are clearly angry over Sinn Féin's position over Castlederg. So I think there'll be an awful lot of straight talking. But I think what is important is that when you speak to both camps, the one thing that they are saying over and over again is that they're going to be pragmatic about this. The milk has been spilt, if you like, and the question now is, where do they go from here? And I think tonight the beginning of that process will be thrashing it out in that meeting between Peter Robinson and Martin McGuinness.
So once they clear the air tonight, then they can get on with business?
Yes, to a certain extent. Tomorrow morning, both men will begin meeting with investors, existing and potential, and they will want to be putting a very united front to those investors. But obviously, this is only a first meeting. The question will be, down the line, as government continues, can they make progress when there has been this breakdown of trust, if you like, in their working relationship, which is central to the executive. The DUP and Sinn Féin relationship is at the heart of our government, and that's going to call into question what progress can be made over the big decisions that they're going to have to make this autumn, such as welfare reform, the review of public administration, and of course the Richard Haas talks that start in only a few days' time.
Tracy, thank you. We'll talk more tomorrow, but for now, thank you.